Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simply Opinionated, and we have another guest, and he's one of the boys, and he's one of my other collab streamers, Mr. Abandoned Poet.
Heyo!
And then obviously Adam's here, my co-host.
Hi.
Alright, whatever.
Yeah, just shit on me.
Yeah.
And also Simply's here.
So the boys are here. Yes, and our special guest is Abandoned Poet. He is currently on 172 followers at the moment on Twitch. He started a Dark Souls 1, which is quite hilarious. And he's put the time and effort as well on Twitter to make himself as dumb as possible on that game. Which is
my first video edit, which was really strenuous to make. And yeah, for Instagram to shit on that, it was very heartbreaking, to be fair. Yeah.
Speaking of Instagram, though, you have almost 500 followers on there.
508 to be exact.
So yeah,
get it right.
Yeah.
So the next goal will hopefully be about 550. He also does collabing with me with the Borderlands series. We've absolutely mastered through Borderlands 1. We're currently near the ending of Borderlands 2.
Hell
and
yeah.
we're going to go on to Borderlands 3.
The Mr. Ellen Poe conquests. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And also he does a lot of charity streams, which I've also dived in every once in a while during my YouTube and Twitch timing as well. But he does massive charity work because your boy is he's just a very supportive person, and obviously with the work that you do and stuff like that. To be fair, like now, because I know you more personally, that kind of does reflect on your personality through your work, which we will get to shortly. But yes, introduce yourself as well, good sir. Tell people about your stuff, about your life, and me and the boys were going to be having a crack.
Oh, well, I'm a Abandoned Poet. Hello, everybody. My life generally right now, I'm just your full-time dad, your general average person. I go to work, I support my kids and my family. I have a baby on the way, which I'm excited about, due in a couple of months. I work as a support worker. I'm a Twitch streamer on the side, trying to make success out of that, and YouTube at the same time. Yeah, that's basically generally it.
So, like, when I said about the whole like charity stream thing,
Yep.
you know, like, is that because, like, because I remember ages ago when you was working in what do you call it? What was that shop called?
Oh, Spa.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yes.
Rocky one stop.
The bane of my life. That was it. Yeah, I mean, like, ever since I left school, and I always wanted to do something that was like protecting the public or do something for the public, giving back. And my dream originally was to be a firefighter. I'd gone through college. I'd been chasing up jobs through applications, and the difficulty of getting a job for the fire service is you're looking at about 5,000 applicants per job. It was ridiculous. And when I finally got through to having a chance at an interview, all that opportunity just went up in the air because obviously there's been a whole thing going on with the whole Afghanistan war. A lot of soldiers were being let off, and they had to come back. So all the jobs kind of got passed over. So I moved on to doing my own thing. So I ended up in retail for 10 years. The whole time I was in retail, I was trying to find something to do that was basically the same sort of premise, but something completely different. So I wanted to do personal training, but then I ended up doing a lot of work in retail, a lot of overtime. Then I ended up doing nights. So it just kind of made it difficult for me to start a business up doing personal training. Wasn't just in general. It was like I wanted to do it, so it was to support people with learning difficulties and learning with physical disabilities as well. So it wasn't just helping like the general public; it was helping people who really struggled. That was what I wanted to do. 3 years ago, I discovered that there was other work out there like social work, there was nursing work, all this sort of support sort of based work that I could really dive into and like doing stuff where I can make other people's lives better. And I've been doing that for 3 years. And to tell you what, it's the most rewarding job that I've ever had. I've worked in bars, I've worked in clubs, I've worked in retail, and this out of all of them, like this is the most rewarding because I'm going to work, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're making friends and you're making people that you care about feel better about themselves. It's almost like living in another home. Your being is about making them happy and making their lives better, and that's how I live my life. I always feel like you need to make other people better around you for you to be able to live your life a bit better. So that's me outside of streaming. When it comes to charity work during stream, like it's sort of the same sort of premise. I want to give back while I'm making success of myself. And streaming to me is the best way to do that because you get a lot of publicity, and with publicity gives you the opportunity to point in that direction. Say, look, I know you're all coming to see me, but I want to set a stone, put something in place where I rambled on. We got to edit this bit.
No, it's fine. Sometimes, obviously, you've done literally like 10 paragraphs. I mean, like it's like the King's Speech. So basically, like, from what I've known, is like, as I said earlier, that kind of like certainly reflects on like, since you're a very kind-natured person from my experience with you, and like the fact that you've told me some horror stories, true horror stories about your working in care. So I've worked in care before, and as much as I knew it was for like it felt like it was correct, like it felt like a greater purpose. However, at the same time, you have to have a lot of willpower
I was going to say, yeah.
Like to be in that scenario, because some of the stuff that you've told me and you've had a smile on your face whilst probably bleeding in certain areas of your body, it's a testament.
Yeah, that sounds very extreme. Yeah, but it is true. Like when it comes to working in that sort of environment, you need to understand that these people, and not all people who end up in care are in need of like severe attention. Some people do end up care because they need a friend, or maybe they have a temporary disability that they need help for. But what I work with is a lot of like mental health disorders, like learning difficulties, and yeah, it can be very strenuous. Like the confusion of the people I've worked with, the way I've seen it, the way that you work with them is how it affects what goes on. So you've got to sort of adjust yourself and put yourself in their way of thinking. If you can turn their environment to something that's comfortable to them, then you will make the day for them a lot better. In turn, make it better for you. But if that goes tits up, then you're going to have a very messy day on your hands. And when you come down to this lockdown business, like that turns a lot of situations quite bad, because obviously everyone was isolated, families couldn't be seen, people couldn't go out to venues no more, and when you're dealing with individuals who have autism and ADHD and other mental disorders and severe learning difficulties, they rely on these venues, and they rely on seeing their families for comfortability, for routine. You take that away, you've got chaos on your hands. And when it comes to trying to deal and manage all this, it was a very difficult process. As much as like the government put a lot of guidelines in place, it was very difficult to sort of manage what chaos came afterwards.
Yeah. And just like to say, hats off to you two, by the way, because for one, I wouldn't have the patience to do that job in the first place, let alone everything that went on with like during the initial like period when COVID hit. Because people like who are doing your job, like my brother was in hospital through when that was going on, and then my mum did being up for later on as well. So it's like a massive amount of respect to you and everyone else that does that care based job in the hospital, obviously like nurses and doctors, because it's such an, especially the last nearly 2 years now, Jesus Christ.
Time flies,
because it was March, wasn't it? So yeah, so it's nearly a year and a half now. Christ. It's just such an important thing. This last year has been crazy.
It's been one of those things like no one at all has ever been prepared for a pandemic, and with all these care homes and even like the NHS themselves, you watched on the news how much they were struggling everywhere. Who in any kind of care sector, any kind of care home, that they were all struggling, and it was in terms of like obviously staffing. People were scared of this virus and the outbreak, so a lot of staff turnover happened. Obviously, a lot of people got ill, got sick, and on top of all that, people were just like, "I want to see my family," but they couldn't. And then you had like behaviours behind all that, and there was as much as they tried to help with the guidelines, the guidelines was just it was all right for the average person, but for people that really struggle, I don't think they really thought hard enough of like how it was going to be difficult for these people. I think it's happening now. Like they've realised. I've seen a couple of like news reports about how they're looking into how difficult it's been for people like with autism and all the difficulties, and they're putting a lot of stress on the government over it. So out of all the chaos, something good has started to come to light over it. A lot more attention being paid towards these places.
I think it's just more to it feels like it came from a legit film where there's been like an outbreak. I can't think of a specific film. I think it's called Contagion.
Legend. I Am Legend's one.
But less without the burning vampire people.
Vampires.
I'm pretty sure one of them is technically because they're afraid of the sun.
They're closer to cannibals than anything, really. But anyway, carry on.
It's
besides the point.
Problem with sunscreen, but yeah, it's cool.
Do you know any cannibals? Anyway,
I don't disclose this information with you.
We digress.
But like Contagion, I think that's the film I'm looking for. But like I remember watching that, and everyone was wearing all these proper hazmat suits, something like from Resident Evil, like obviously without the zombies, and it was a massive pandemic, and like you saw like parts of all over the world how they were sorting it, and how people got infected, and you saw these loved ones, and then you look at this, and you're just like this. I can imagine like what 10 years from now, this would probably be made into a film. This whole Corona thing.
Oh yeah, they've already done it, dude. Netflix.
I was going to say, yeah, there was a Netflix about it.
Was it Kobe 21 or Kobe 22? I think it's going to be cool. But yeah, they've already made a film ready.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I am in time. I don't watch TV. This is my issue, man. Anytime I strip around to Netflix, I'm just like, oh.
He's too busy hanging out with his cannibal friends. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they are delicious. I mean, I'm just like...
What, they are delicious?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we take turns nibbling.
Pass me an hand, wait.
Yeah.
Have a nibble.
Give me a limb. But yeah, it must be crazy, especially because obviously it was already tough enough for you to be in that environment, and then that extra stress of reasonings of like restrictions to a T. A mate of mine who also does caring, he loves it just as much as you do, Nathan. And honestly, sometimes I think it affects him a bit too much. And I don't know if you felt like this, where you get burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes he feels extremely satisfied. And then other times I just feel like he's just an empty vessel of a human, and I know that sounds really extreme, but but the fact that he's still commitment, and the fact he's been working there for donkey's years now, and like Adam said, I can't imagine myself doing that. So, is there a way that you kind of deal when when shit literally hits the fan
Oh, dude.
sometimes?
To be honest, a lot of the time, obviously, you follow your planned responses in certain situations, but a lot of it just comes out on the whim. Like you deal with situations in a way that you would like someone to deal with it if it was you. You try and be as reassuring as you possibly can. You try and comfort them. You try and give them a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I've been working strenuous. I started working 6 day weeks. Then it turned to decrease because obviously how strenuous it got on me, and that was affecting my mental health. And then I've recently started doing 6 day weeks again. And during those periods, like earlier on when it was really bad, you'd watch like people that you've been caring for. They are now a big factor of your life because you think about them not just while you're at work. You think about it when you go at home because you're worried about how their day is being affected when you're not there, or you worrying about what sort of scenarios happen during the day is going to affect them the next day. You want to make everything better, and when you see like an effect and you see them deteriorate mentally, they start affecting you, and that's where like you're on about how your friend, he's 1 minute he's fine, next minute he's like a husk. It's because he's looking and he's reflecting on how much of an effect life is having on these people, and sometimes you want to help it, but you just can't. You see the effects happen, you just can't help them. You do your best, and the only way to help them really is to like try and help them ride this whole thing out and give them the hope that this is all going to be better soon. You will be going to the cinema. You try and create the dream for them, and you go, come on, we haven't got that much longer. We can go through. We will do this for now, and then once it's all over, we can go and do all these fun things after. You can go see your family, and that's basically what it's been like the last year and 2-3 months, is just giving them hope that everything's going to be back to normal. It has affected me. Like I've been at home, I've been staring into space, worrying, what's going to happen to these guys, and not just these guys. Like it's affecting not just me, or the staff members as well. It's having had a massive detrimental effect on everybody. And I'm actually really like genuinely happy that things are starting to lift now, and normality is starting to slowly seep back in. Everybody needs that normality back.
Of course. I mean, it doesn't help the fact either that, like, it does start to affect like your own life as well. And like you said, there's a reflection. That's why I felt like a little off topic, but like when obviously, as I said, me and Nathan stream collab every Thursday on Borderlands. Do watch it. Usually at 9 o'clock or usually at 6 o'clock. Self plug. But like yeah.
What is a lie?
What was that?
I don't know.
It was like a rambled mess of my soul. Just anyway.
Right. I thought that was you for a minute. I didn't know it was him. Anyway.
The guess is possessed.
Yeah. Let's rewind that backwards and see what that said. Yeah. And the one time, and this was our last stream, I'm usually the one that's slightly late because I usually make a last minute trip to the shop or whatever, and like usually like 3 or 5 minutes late. But like Nathan messaged me earlier that day saying I'm finishing early, but I need a power nap. I was like, yeah, that's fine. No worries, dude. Like sleep it off. And it got to 9 o'clock, and I was like, oh, okay, so it'll be on in a minute. 2 minutes later, I was like, I wonder what he's doing. And then literally this back of my head, this bell just went dong.
You know what I realised?
Like, he's still asleep.
I realised that this is how tired I've been getting. I've been doing things backwards. I'd swipe, you swipe your phone left for snooze, and I started swiping my phone right for turn off alarm. So that's been happening a lot lately. But there's been other times I've been at work and I've tried to like put milk in the bin or pour milk on my toast to spread it like it was butter, and I've ordered pizza and tried to put on it. So yeah,
perfect segue. Do you drink milk straight?
Hell yeah.
Like
we're gonna start having a question, by the way, if people are listening, because I've got this genius idea, and I don't care what these two think. I think it's a fucking amazing idea, and that his spreading his milk on his toast is a perfect segue for this. So we're gonna start having an opinionated based question for every guest, because I think it's a different break from the morbid talk of, the coronavirus of the last 20 minutes. So today's question is going to be, in your opinion, do you drink cold milk straight, just straight up drink cold milk? Because some people are very against it. Some people are completely fine with it. What type of milk do you have? And have you ever had warm milk as a kid? Because I used to have it all the time as a kid. And also, do you put your milk in before the tea bag or the other way around? Because I personally think... So there's a few there.
I feel the honour that the guest should go first on this.
Well, first of all, if I was to drink warm milk, it'd be with an egg in it. I find that very more relaxing, and it will help you sleep better.
I'm sorry, what?
You get warm milk, you put an egg in it, you mix it up.
Like you crack the egg and put a yolk in warm milk.
He doesn't eat the whole egg raw.
The whole egg?
No, I thought you meant like he dipped an egg in it or something. I don't know. Who eats fucking egg in milk? Like what's?
No, serious. No, that's what I mean. Like, you crack an egg, put it in the glass of milk, you put it in the microwave for a bit, and then you drink that shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm with Adam on this one. That sounds.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Weird.
It's a thing that helps you relax at night. You know, doing like warm milk.
Just gonna go chuck some yolk down my throat.
I'm gonna get like a dead chicken and like mix it with some fucking udder milk. Like.
It's a thing. I guarantee after this podcast, look it up. People do it.
So chat, look it up.
You'll be with it.
Warm milk, cracked egg yolk, mix it, put it in microwave.
I'm not gonna sound. That sounds fucking grim. I'm not gonna lie.
What does that taste
you don't even
like?
taste the egg. You don't taste the milk. You don't taste the egg. Sorry, you don't taste.
You don't taste the egg. You don't taste the milk. It's just greasy fucking egg going down your throat.
It just tastes like air. It's just like, oh, nothing. Love me. Yeah.
So
what's the relaxing part in that?
I think it just soothes you. I think you can't. Obviously, with warm milk, it's supposed to calm you, but with the egg, I think it just fills you up. It just helps fills you up, settles your stomach, and you go to bed, and you sleep. You have a relaxing night's sleep.
There's a thing called Horlicks, mate.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I want a fucking egg in my Horlicks. All right, leave me alone.
I've never heard of someone putting an egg in warm milk before. It's so fucking weird.
That's right.
The last time I had warm milk was when I was very young, and that did help me sleep. So I don't know.
I had work when I used to work at an unnamed hospital. All of the women there before their break used to have warm milk with sugar in it, and I used to get that smell in the kitchen when I used to do it. To the point where I was like, you know what, I'll try that, and it's fucking amazing. Warm milk with sugar in, it's probably really unhealthy for you, but it's amazing. Go and try it.
It's just a milk flavored milkshake, isn't it? Right?
I'm sorry,
it's brilliant.
I don't believe that you should have a question mark.
Fucking eggy milk. You don't get an option here.
Oh my lord! When it comes to the tea thing, though, I will strongly say this is how you do it. I don't care what everyone says.
You're not British if you put it.
It is tea bag, then sugar, then hot water, then you stir for a bit. Then, you wait until, the tea bag's marinated and it's all fully flavoured. You take the tea bag.
You're not slapping meat, Mike. What the fuck?
We're not eating the tea bag.
I'm getting textured with this tea bag, you know what I'm saying?
Rub your mince into your tea bag.
I massage the tea bag. This is what I do, right? And then, anyway.
We're still on about a cup of tea, right? Just checking.
Yeah.
Anyway, Karen. Okay.
So, anyway, stir it. Take the tea bag out when it's fully blended, and then add milk, and then stir it again. And that is how you do it.
Are you not even sucking the tea bag? I mean, you spend about 5 minutes marinating it.
Sorry, what now?
You spend 5 minutes marinating a tea bag. You're not going to treat yourself to a little suckle.
A little suckle. He just said that. He just said little suckle of a tea bag. I don't know what you're doing to your mic, Nathan, mate, but you've got a really bad echo going on. But are you moving your head a lot? I don't know what's going on.
It's all the suckling that's happening.
Nathan's currently suckling his tea bag, and that's why we can't hear him.
Yeah.
But
I can hear him perfectly. So
is it recent, or has it been throughout the whole thing?
Oh no, just every now and again you get a bit like muffled and it's hard to hear you. But
Oh, it's probably because the mic's down. I'll pick it up.
See, I love the fact that we get these technical difficulties during and before. It's so great. One day you guys will find out the behind the scenes procedure, and then you'll know the reason why me and Simply sometimes have aneurysms. It's fantastic. It'll be a whole series in the future, I reckon. But anyway, yeah, that is the way that you make tea. So
that's the way I make tea.
Yeah,
that's the way I make tea as well. Yeah, but just to clarify, but
I like how you almost hesitated then for a second. I was just like, Simply.
No.
Can you put milk in?
Though to be fair, I tell you what, I haven't had tea in like nearly 2 months because I'm dieting, and I was a fiend for tea, and I put so much sugar in tea, so it's quite annoying.
I could say coffee. Coffee was a big thing.
I don't like coffee, you know. I can't stand coffee. I tried it as when I was younger. I was probably too young, and then I put a load of sugar because I'm a sugar fiend. That's probably why I'm such a fat fuck. But I put a lot of sugar in my coffee, just trying to get over the bitterness of it, and it just really put me off it, like for life. So
yeah, I like when it comes to like because I drink both, and if I had to choose one or the other, I'd choose tea because tea's tea. Like I don't know how to describe a good cup of tea. It's something that you can literally drink, and you can pause for a moment and go.
So this is the thing. What colour do you have to have your tea as well?
I'd have to.
Oh, it has to be dark. It'd be proper like builder's tea.
Yeah, it has to be like.
So do you think? So I'm not
mid brown.
Okay, so I'm quite partial to not really milky, but like just before that, if you know what I mean. Like it's not really.
Then you're not tasting the tea. You don't taste the tea.
Oh. I know. I want to taste the sugar. That's my point. That's why I don't drink tea.
Just put a cup of sugar then. And
so listen, eggy milk boy, you can't say shit, right?
Don't you judge me.
Treat yourself.
Just swallow an egg layer. You'll love it.
Since we've made this new rule, I'm going to ask my opinion question a bit later on. I reckon that's what we should do for now. At least do 2.
Have one each. Yeah, fair enough.
So that would be awesome. But yeah, I must say that I have stopped eating bread because as people know, I've started trying to diet as well, and these two have helped me in so many ways. Like I want to punch them, like because they tell me everything's bad for me, but like
this is how this happens. Nathan got me back into dieting, and then I got you back into dieting. So it's basically Nathan's problem.
I'll derail in that time that you've got.
We've actually gone around in one big circle.
It's great. Literally. So basically, everyone's still fat. Brilliant.
I felt so bad, like real talk, right? Again, back onto this Borderlands streaming bull crap, but like literally, I was eating fish sticks, like thinking, like, oh great, I'm eating fish, right? Good for me. And like I told Nathan the whole bunch of stuff that I've bought. Like I was just like, I wanted him to have give me like a father-son moment of like, oh, you're proud of me, and I'd be like, yeah, champ, and then we'd go off in the sunset. But instead,
Mr. O's, as usual, his sidetrack stories that just go on. And we rode off, and the sand was so soft, and the wind hit his hair. Like, anyway, carry on.
Thank you. Anyway, and then I was like, I've literally had 4 or 6 at this point. I was just munching and snacking during the stream, and I go, "Oh, dude, so what do you think, man?" They're like, "Fish sticks are good for you, right?"
I'm such a healthy bitch.
Yeah, and then literally all I get was this mild pause, and he's just gone, "No, they're not good for you."
Everything, they're not even fish, are they? But it's just
you tell me. You're the expert.
And then the next one, he's like,
literally, when he said that, I already had one in my mouth, halfway in.
And the fish.
And the fish. And I was just like, oh, okay.
No, he literally said to me when I started doing this again, he's like, no pasta, no bread, no milk, no sugar. Cut out your sweets, your crisps. If you're going to have fish, because I can't just eat raw chicken and fish because I just my body's just like, no, this
raw chicken.
tastes...
What?
No, like without any seasoning or anything, just like plain chicken breast.
Plain chicken. Yeah.
I didn't mean raw. Yeah, obviously.
I was gonna say, bro.
But
I'm cannibalistic.
But I have to have it like at least breaded because it has to have some sort of like texture to it for me. It's a weird thing with whatever, right? So you would like at least have breaded because you can't have battered or fried because that's terrible for you. So I've been having like breaded chicken and breaded fish and stuff. So I've stuck to that, and that's been quite easy. But pasta was a massive one for me because I used to devour pasta, like lasagnas, fucking meatballs and pasta, spaghetti, all that sort of shit. And do you know what? I had spaghetti the first time for like nearly a month and a half about 3 days ago, and I felt ill after eating pasta. And it's really weird how your body just gets used to not having this starchy stuff. Really weird.
It's weird. Like you go from like a meat diet to I went to pescatarian, and I did this for 3 months, and I gave up because it's very hard. I hats off to people that do this. They go into like from pescatarian to vegetarian to vegan. Hats off to them, because when you go into a shop that has pretty much everything meat based, and you have to look at the back of packets, and you end up walking out of the shop half the time with nothing, because everything has some sort of like meat-based thing in there, whether it's like an extract or something, and you want to stay committed, you don't want to disappoint yourself, so you walk out half the time starving because there's nothing there that you can pick up. And like, I did this for 3 months, and then like I gave up because of how strenuous it was to keep up with it. I just wanted to go shop, pick something up and eat it. I had a mixed grill as my first meal back on meat. So like literally, when I finished the dish, I felt like chucking it all back up. Like you said, like your body gets used to all of it out of your system, and it's a sudden shock of like, oh, what the fuck is this? And it's a mad effect on your body. So my hat goes off to everybody that tries to change the diet, like as much as like you tried, as much as vegans do, and it's way too. I'm happy with just being a foodie. I don't think I could ever change my diet again now.
I mean, I literally had an experience today at Stratford upon Avon when I was visiting some of my family, and we went to this lovely restaurant. I say lovely; it was actually like atmosphere-wise, it was great, but the food was kind of shit. But like,
worst McDonald's I've ever been to.
There's this place called the Uncle.
Didn't even put a toy in my Happy Meal, fuckers.
I would rather have a McDonald's than ever go back to this place. Anyway, like the atmosphere was nice, and I ordered the fish and chips because literally, like, it was one of those like restaurants where they have all these fancy names and I couldn't understand a word. So I just went with the basics, and literally, for something so expensive, you get so little, which I expected, so it wasn't a big deal. But like, since I've been on this diet, I have noticed that my stomach has shrunk significantly.
Yeah, you will do.
So I barely just finished it. Bearing in mind, it was only like 15 chips and this nice, decently sized portion of fish. And I just finished it. Anyway, later on, I ordered a Heineken, and we were all sitting down, all chilling, and we were all about to go. And I was about, I don't know, like, not that much left in the glass. So I took half of it, and I shit you not, this has not happened in a very long time. I was that full that I couldn't keep down the Heineken, so my gag reflex kicked in. And literally, I put my hand on my mouth, and the next thing you know, in 3 different directions, beer just went. And I was just like, and my brother and my mom looked like I vomited, but I didn't. And then my grandma was like, "You're all right," and I'm just like, "Yeah, I don't think my stomach could take any more content."
Just a bit of gagging, Nan. That's all. Don't worry.
And honestly, I felt so embarrassed. But like, honestly, I could eat for England, but now I have to literally be wary what because I said this in the previous podcast. I hate wasting food, and I will not waste food.
Do you know what's a really good thing to do at home is get smaller plate sizes as well, because that's a really good way to control your diet. Because I don't know if you've seen them. They've got like squares, the square plates, but it has a square inside this plate, so which is like your actual portion size of like your dietary needs. So you won't eat more than what you're meant to for that what you're trying to lose weight on. It's really good.
I have mad phases where like I'll do like crazy workout regimes and I'll do healthy eating, and this will last about 4 months. Then suddenly I'll have a crash, and then the following 4 months I'll just eat anything. I do this thing where also like I won't drink any beer, any alcohol, and then I'll have like a week period where I'll drink as much as I possibly can, and then I'll stop. It's like an on and off phase that I keep having.
So I'm very good with just stopping stuff, except like sugary drinks. Sugary drinks, like just a bottle of pop or whatever, like a tiny bottle of pop or whatever. I'm terrible for that sort of stuff. So that's why I have to keep loading my fridge full of water. Otherwise, I will go back onto it. But anything else, I've not drank in 2 years, and I can quite easily not drink. But I think that's mainly because having like a child at home, and then I don't really go out anyway. I don't really have like the need or the time to. So it's all the money for one. But
See, I have the opposite effect. I could do with not drinking like soft drinks or just like sugary drinks. I can be perfectly fine without. But like when it comes to alcohol, that's like.
So that's a big one, especially for like yeast and stuff and beer and stuff. It's really bad for if you're trying to lose weight. It's like one of the worst things. I love how this has just become a dieting stream. Recording.
Yeah, recording.
But I say I was fucking living streaming too much, clearly. But
the stream, guys.
You know what it is? It was because of the premeditated, as most people know, we have a premeditation before we start the podcasting, and the fact that all three of us were just like chilling out, and like Nathan was drinking the beer, and it got me very enraged. I was just like, "What are you doing that in front of my face for, bro? Like, come on, man, I thought we were friends, But my question is if. Because obviously you're talking about caring and jobs and stuff. My question is, if you could pick a job, a dream job for a day, what would that dream job be?
That's good.
Because it's a mix. Because I've always wanted to be a YouTube content creator, like a successful one, but I've always wanted to be a firefighter at the same time. So it's I could be a successful YouTube content creator in the fire service. Though, look what we did.
Welcome, guys. Welcome back to this house fire. Let's see again. 100 likes to see if the family survives.
Look at this noob on the third floor. That bird.
Send help. I'm not trained.
Smash 500 likes and I'll use the big ladder. Oh, yeah.
Let me whip out my axe to slam in your door. Coming in the back end.
30 subs and I'll use the hose.
What?
That's turned into a hot tub stream.
Oh, you got a shiny helmet.
He said the naughty word.
Forbidden. So, Adam, what would yours be?
No, don't laugh at me. But a pro wrestler, to be honest.
Oh, dude, I'm massively into wrestling. I don't know why that wasn't my answer in the first place.
I have been since I was a kid, and I still watch it now. And I actually am in contact with someone who does that as their job. Like they are actually a pro wrestler. So I've got to train enough to be able to start doing the training for it properly.
Oh, dude, I'm actually so jealous right now.
But that's what do you remember our talk about it before, Mike? Not the one podcast with Jess, but the one before that. I said like I had an announcement I was working to. I'm trying to train enough to be able to go and do that, but I'm gonna have to wait because I can't gain any muscle because I need to get into a gym and do heavier weights. That's my main problem at the minute. But
well, you have to look muscly. I mean, to be fair, like a lot of the wrestlers we see nowadays, they're not as like packing muscle. As what
you do really to get anywhere properly and to be able to lift people safely and stuff. You've got to have a fair amount of, even if you don't show it, just like physically be able to carry someone.
It's fair enough, but you don't have to. I suppose it depends if you're on TV, and they probably do want you to look at.
Yeah. No, if I was gonna, if it was gonna be a dream job, it'd be like something like WWE, wouldn't it? Where you'd be like. Fucking
AEW is the dream now. AEW is the dream.
Well, I don't know. It's good, but it's not the pinnacle still. But anyway, we digress. That was my answer.
I would like
My
to
question,
be.
actually, for nostalgia's sake, what's your favorite wrestler? Well, for when you was a kid.
Who was one for Wrestling favorite kid? So I'd say Undertaker, but like it's just
I like
depressing.
Kane. I like Kane.
It's just depressing
Uh,
because he's wrestled too long, man. And he left it too long to leave.
yeah,
Trying to think.
definitely.
Oh no, tell like Gangrel was my favorite because I love the Brood.
Gangrel. Bret the Hitman Hart was mine.
So that's a cop out answer. That's why I didn't say Undertaker because everyone's going to say like Undertaker, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, like the.
So it was the Ultimate Warrior and Bret Hart. There was two of them, but Bret Hart over Ultimate Warrior.
What would your submission be if you had to pick a submission?
Oh, my submission would either be the Scorpion Deathlock from Sting or the Sharpshooter from Bret Hart.
I really like the calf crusher that AJ Styles does. It looks brutal. It looks, stuff looks like it would actually hurt if you did it to someone. Apparently, that one actually hurts because he is putting his leg behind your thigh and squeezing it in an awkward position. But anyway, Mike, he was going to say, sorry, what was your dream job?
Well, I was gonna say before that because I'm not a massive fan of wrestling, but like I remember doing the pedigree, which is I believe is Triple H's signature one. I did that on my stepbrother once, and I almost broke his nose. That was a fun experience.
Someone did that to me, bro. Someone they said, "Oh, do the pedigree." Oh, yes, son. And me, as like the daredevil I was, got fucking almost cracked my skull on council estate concrete.
Oh, mate! So this was my childhood. We literally spent every weekend and every day after school down the park just wrestling each other, and I broke so many fingers, but not tapping. Like it was crazy. It's ridiculous.
I was literally kind of like very, very like forced into the whole like let's play wrestling, and then like I was basically the catalyst of this like the moves been done on because I didn't know any of the moves, and like the pedigree one was literally the easiest to do because I was a bit of a chunky monkey, so I was like I wasn't that aerobatic, but the one me and my friend Glenn joke about this one all the time because he's a massive wrestling fan, but even I love this. I can't remember the announcer's name. I think it's the guy with the cowboy hat.
Jim Ross.
Yeah. When like Stone Cold Steve Austin did the stunner or whatever that he does, the fact that guy literally said this 10 times out loud, going "Starter, starter, starter."
Oh yeah,
starter.
yeah.
Shit makes me fucking crack every time I hear it, man. Like, because he's got it as a recording, and it kills me, man. Like, could you imagine? Like, imagine being that excited about something.
He's got to sell the move, though, isn't he?
Yeah, man.
True, like, but could you imagine if he like got that excited about like something like as ordinary as real life?
It's just in Morrison's broccoli.
Yeah. Fish cakes. Woo!
Just lives his life 100% hyped all the time. It's great.
Right, that is the dream right there, and I love it. That is probably one of my favorite things about the wrestling scene. But again, I digress. I would say animator as my dream job. I have so many like fictional. I don't know about you guys when it comes to imagination, but I literally have my own made-up TV shows in my head. And I make like episodes of like characters I create in my head. Like when I'm bored or when I'm walking, I create this world of fantasy. If I was in D&D, they would probably worship me as a god. But like basically, I literally would love to put that on paper and just like make episodes or fan art of my own fictional characters and stuff. I would love to do that. I cannot draw for shit.
You don't need to. You can write it down. Get someone else to draw it for you on Fiverr. There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Do an animated series. Stick it on YouTube. You sorted. There you go.
I like how you say it. It's so easy.
It is. It literally is, mate. You write the script. You send it to someone on Fiverr. They animate it for you, and you edit it down. Put it on YouTube. It's done. You just got to have the will to do stuff. Do you know what I mean? This is the thing with like YouTube as well. Why I didn't for so long. You just got to go for stuff occasionally and just try it. Do you know what I mean? Like the first game review I put up on YouTube was like dog shit because I got the framing issue wrong, and then the second one I like so much better because I finally figured it out, and I've left that other one on there because it's like a reminder for progression. So you've just got to go for stuff and then learn as you go with a lot of things. You know what I mean? So
That's
you
the
never
reason.
start it.
But that's the thing. Like, that's the whole reason why I wanted to start YouTube in the first place. Is like having that kind of like imagery of like putting myself out there in terms of an entertainer. Because, like I said, I when I did videos and stuff, I did it in like kind of like old school Markiplier back in the day, and without the camera, obviously. And like I enjoyed that. And I just quickly pissed the highlights. I miss doing that, but I feel like that doesn't do as well as it used to. And like this was like early time. This is when I was on double digits, and it was great. Like and like now that I've grown up to be more wiser down in the field of things, like I love the fact I can. One of my like things that put a smile on my face is when people quote stuff that you have said in the past. Like it could be like a merch thing. Like for example, I've said sometimes you dirty pig fucker, like like as like a response to like something, or like you dirty like a dirty dildo or something like that. And literally, people have now started saying things I say, and I'm just like,
oh, I have that. Mine's piss. I say piss a lot when I'm getting frustrated and stuff. And now everyone always says piss all the time around me now. It's great.
I don't have that. I'm basically a walking meme of autocorrect. It's just the wrong spelling at the wrong time.
I would say your catchphrase, in a sense, is nothing rude or vulgar. It's like, you know what? It's fine. Like literally, and there's that pause, and there's always that pause in between. Like, you know what? It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You know, it's cool. You know, I understand because you're so very calm and collected. I've never seen someone, and I think this is the reason why you work so well as a care worker, is you do not lose your shit. I've seen Adam lose his shit. I lose my. Out of all three,
never.
Of us, I lose my shit probably most. Like, there's basically, if we were a girl gang, I would be the hothead.
Why are we a girl gang now? What is this? Carry on. Carry on. I love your brain just goes so weird places sometimes. If we were like a bunch of hot girls and
we were like
wearing short skirts and like we're just sluts, like
oh, I'd be the whore. I'd like understandably, but
anyway.
I'll be the one that innocently queefs.
We're not debating what sluts we're going to be. For fuck's sake, this fantasy in my head. Nice little Freddy skull dress and.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
like, like, Nathan would be like the quiet librarian, and you'd be like the. You'd be like the sassy one, that's like, well, you know what I think. Like just snapping the fingers.
I want some of the drugs that you're currently taking, please.
Right, like this is this is the boys, right? I'm just trying to see like if we like one day, you know. Can you just let me have my moments?
I'm not wearing a fucking school dress for you, Mike. No, it's not happening. I'm not.
I might give it a go.
I'm not sticking a school dress on Mike. Nathan's in the corner drinking his eggy milk. Thank you very much.
At least he's a team player.
He's saying that because he swallows his egg before bed, and you love it.
1-2.
We've got egg boy, sugar boy, and the one that doesn't have a weird drinking milk fetish. Like, you know, good lord. Anyway,
wow.
But yeah, it would like when I said when it comes to the whole YouTube thing. Yeah, I think like I've wisened up to the ideas of like things I do want to do. The only thing I need to do now is just getting the tech for what I need, which is obviously usually the next step with most people. But I feel like we do, and I speak for all three of us. I think we do a pretty good job in the ways that we sort out our stuff, and because like streaming's difficult in the sense of like we do it for fun and we do it like even as a stress reliever to some extent, or like it's literally a hobby, and like, but I think we do carry ourselves pretty well despite not having like the best setup and stuff like that. And I feel like the fact that we have an audience that realizes that and still comes for the fact it's not with the fancy lights and stuff. Yeah, sure, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but like at the same time, it's like you're there for that person. I feel, and it's quite of a rewarding feeling. Yeah.
A lot of people get lost with that, don't they, as well, where they think as long if I got X amount on a setup and I get X amount of money for this game or whatever, or I get this sort of sponsor or this I align myself with this brand, and I'm instantly gonna be successful on Twitch, and that just isn't the case, and it's kind of like falsely advertised a lot of the time, which I find is a massive issue.
Yeah.
Because like you said, all three of us, not one of us has a full PC setup or overlays or sound alerts, and they're like the must-have things according to like 90% of people on Twitch. And there'll be some people, I've seen them, that you go into their stream, they have the full setup and they're struggling to get past one person.
Yeah,
but it's it's like you said, it's down to the personality, isn't it, more necessarily than what equipment you've got. Yes, it helps to a degree because it pushes you past like a certain benchmark. Because there's brackets of people that don't have a camera, there's brackets of people that don't have good audio, it moves you up in certain sections of it. But at the end of the day, it's entirely down to you as a person to be able to capture people's imagination. So and keep their attention as well, and keep them coming back regularly every week, which is also a massive thing. I personally feel which is another good segue. One of the things we want to talk about the whole struggling to find the motivation when you go from having amazing streams where it's like really high viewership and the chat's really buzzing and you're doing really well with it, and then the next day there's like no one there because either the people are at work or it's the wrong time of game or the time of day or whatever the reason is. People have lives, that's understandable, but it's like people don't seem to understand. At least because I'm obviously talking from a personal perspective, and then also I've seen both of your guys' streams, and then other people's as well that have done really, really well, and then some days they're not so well, and I know it's shit. Like you can get you sometimes nearly depressing because it's like it's really disheartening to have like a massive high and then a really, really low, and you're like, well, this is the streams are always funner. Like I think Mike said as well, you do it because it's some sort of a hobby. It starts out off as like a hobby, and then obviously when you get better and better at it, if you're lucky enough to become a career, then that's great, but that's not initially why you started it. You started it for the passion of either, I don't know, learning to edit. In my case, it was the passion of learning how to edit and the technical side of it, whereas some people, it might be like public speaking or whatever. So, but it's just, it just get very disheartening. I find sometimes, and people don't see that part with the streamer side. They just think, oh, they only care about viewership, they only care about how many subs they're getting, and it's like, no, the stream can become more enjoyable for the streamer themselves as well if there's people actively talking and there's an engagement rather than you just talking to yourself for 2 hours pretending like there's someone actually there. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And people don't seem to think of the other side of it a lot of the time, and I feel like they probably should.
It's more funny that you mentioned that as well, because like like one time no one was talking for about 20 minutes to half an hour, and that's really rare for me, so I'm not used to it, but I know I have to keep talking because I can't just stop because no one's there, because at the end of the day someone comes in and I'm not speaking. This is why I've seen so many other people go on like, oh, I'll stream, and they don't talk. You need to like pretend that there's another person in the room. You
try and back it up. You try. It's because obviously you want to entertain, but you want everybody to see what you're doing. So you try and back it up. Sometimes it can be self-inflicted, but you all this depression hits in because there's only me watching. But you try your best to find a way how to get the viewership in by you edit videos. And I try and do that now, where I edit best bits and try and put it in people's faces. Just say, "Oh, look what I'm doing! Look what happened! Come watch next time you're on." And then again, you're still wondering why no one getting all these likes on Instagram, getting all these views on Twitter, but no one's still tuning in. And then that's where the disheartening starts coming in.
It's like a false sense of hope, isn't it? Because like you said, I get that a lot. So a lot of my Instagram posts get like quite a fair amount of likes, and then I go on stream and there's no one there. And like, but you liked, like even today, like someone liked a post of me going live, but then didn't turn up. It's like, well, I don't understand. So it's like it's very
Oh, mate,
confusing.
I get that too. It's like, hey, I'm glad
And it's
that
not,
you're doing
and
that,
then like
buddy.
people think like you're getting like, oh, why aren't you watching me? It's not that. It's more like it's just disheartening, isn't it? You kind of like it gets you like, oh, people liked it. That's cool. That I'm finally like getting a little bit of traction, and maybe it'll start doing well. And then it doesn't do so well as you imagined because you probably built it up a bit too much in your own head.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it
a
just gets
built-up
you down a bit.
self-doubt, isn't it? It's doubt. You have one
Yeah,
like time, and you built for two streams, you get a really good like feed on it. You got 10 people probably talking constantly, and you have a great time. And suddenly that stops, and that stops for 3 streams after that. And then you think, was that it? Was that my moment? Was that been and gone? And then you start self-doubting, and when you
Was
start
that my
self-doubting,
opus?
that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You start thinking, is that it now? Is that where it ends? And you start having all this self-doubt kicking in. It's like, should I just give up now? But then, like, you got to try and pick yourself up and then think of other ideas. What else can I do with this? Can I keep streaming and then use the content on other platforms? And that's what a lot of people are doing now. What I've noticed that they're using the content that they're creating on Twitch and bringing it over to YouTube in shorts. Like,
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you've got to do that now. It's the only way because there's so many people doing Twitch. If you don't put the extra effort in, you're literally going to get nowhere. But all at the same time, that is also why it can even be even more disheartening when you put the extra effort in and then you still don't get anywhere with it. But it's like
the fact that the lockdown has happened as well. There's been a massive increase of channels being created and viewers coming in because of they've seen Ninja $1 million a year for streaming, and think, oh, I want a piece of that. So they come on and they create these channels. They're jumping into each of the streams. I'm supporting you. Then once they get that support back, they fuck off and disappear. And there's a complete like circle of it's like a vicious cycle, like And eventually, as we're coming out of lockdown, all these people that have created channels and been doing these follow for follow, support for support sort of like campaign, they're all disappearing now, and it's becoming almost a ghost town.
Yeah, it's become even harder, which is really weird than it was before the lockdown because there's been such a wipe. When Twitch did I don't know if your channel's been affected by it, but I know mine and Mr. O's have, where Twitch wiped a load of inactive accounts and bot accounts over the lockdown streamer era, if you want to call it that.
I think it's been happening over time.
Yeah,
I've had 250 followers, and them I've got 772.
Yeah, I lost about 30 due to the wipe they did.
Yeah,
it's just in itself is a bit crap.
It's actually complicated. Was I really that insane? The fact that they've got these bots sitting in my follower list.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do understand that. I mean,
it was quite funny. Like I was streaming Dead by Daylight this one time, and literally, I already had 2 like normal followers beforehand. Literally, a minute passed, and all of a sudden, my thing gets flooded with approximately 43 new followers, and I know they were all bots. And I was like, "Oh, look, the fictional characters are here," and literally, and I was laughing my ass. I was like, "Holy shit! How do you think this is real? Like, who in the right mind would think that all of a sudden 43 people just instantly follow, and they have names like and then literally 5 minutes later, another person followed, and I could tell he was real. And then I think it was Swift. I'm going, oh my god, you got bot attacked, and this was during the time where they're deleting bots, right? So I knew, instead of wiping them all at a time, it was a slow process, and in 2 days it was drop in, and then it stopped, and I counted all 43 bots. It was like, oh, so you're doing your job right. You just took 2 days to fix it. Oh, it's so funny.
But this is the poison that is on Twitch. Like you have obviously the bot system where you usually get flooded with bots, which could close your channel. It could happen to anybody. You've worked hard. You've worked probably say like around a year, maybe 2 years on this channel. Suddenly you get infested with thousands of bots, and then channel shut down. You got to start all over again. That's someone's work gone over some kid playing around, fucking it up for somebody. That's their hard work that's just gone down the toilet. And not only that, you've got other people now making YouTube content out of trolling other streamers. There's no. I can't understand where the joy comes out of that, and how people expect a good feedback. Like you happened to you, Mr. Friday. You happened to you on you had a Minecraft stream.
Mm.
Someone randomly popped in,
Yeah, and
messed you,
stole like
stole all
all
your
the
diamonds
most. Yeah,
and all. Although it's not valuable stuff. It's a game, but to you, you've built a community and you've built
It's the effort and time, isn't it? It's gone
and the
into it.
effort on this gone into, and someone's come into your show and just completely fucked it up, and then in the chat room said, "Oh yeah, do you keep making me my content?" And then like laughing throughout the whole thing. So it's basically just trolling for the sake of his own success and making it a shitty experience for everybody else.
the fact that he told us that he was making content, and then he got banned because he told us, and we had enough like stuff to report him. So it was great. So it was like, look, you're laughing now. Enjoy your making content on something that doesn't exist, dickhead.
Where there's a lot of highs when it comes to Twitch, the success and the community building. There's a lot of lows too, which if you can push through all them, you can make something out of it.
And there's a lot of people that go the wrong way about it as well. I mean, at the end of the day, going around sucking everyone's dick on like a Twitter or Discord or like everything like that, you need to get your own people and not rely on like absorbing other people. Sometimes you need your own audience, but some people are just like, I'll just rob from other people. It's like I can't be asked to make my own original hub place where everyone can chill and talk and stuff. I'll just suck dick somewhere else, and or they'll me and Adam know someone buying people as well. There are so many, like, you'd think, like, there's so many people that do that kind of stuff, and you're just like, why can't you just like have that faith in yourself where you can get your own audience and not do it in such a way.
I think one of the things that Twitch needs to sort out is what YouTube did absolutely years ago, is make the platform actually discoverable. Because at the minute, we was talking before we started recording this, Nathan was saying,
trend. It's all about trend. And if you fall out of line of that, then you fall out of line of
yeah, you have to play the latest game, but at the same time, you can't play the latest game because there's so many people playing the latest game.
Exactly.
And the only way someone new is going to see your stream, if you don't have other means of either Instagram, Twitter, all the other socials, YouTube, whatever, is literally by you being the highest number on that list of that game that's currently popular. And there's thousands of people which are doing that. So you have to learn all these little tips, like moving the camera to the right so your view count isn't covering it up, and then you've got to the right title, the right this, that, and the other. And it's like it's so difficult. Like things like YouTube they've just introduced having YouTube Shorts, which is like a massive thing for channels now because they can do a 2-second video, basically like essentially a TikTok video, and people can they can digest it within seconds rather than having to watch a whole 2-hour live stream or 3-4 hour live stream. People aren't going to sit and watch that offline. They just won't. People like short form content. That's why TikTok has done so well. They really need to add something like that for Twitch. I feel needs to have like, I don't know, a section that you can search people's clips up because they're like 30 seconds long. If you could have a short section for your channel that was just your favorite clips, like your 10 favorite clips throughout the month or whatever, and then someone could click on your name and it shows you them that, and they could advertise your channel along with your channel trailer. That would be such a cool way of searching someone's channel up. But they just don't have it. They haven't got any of that. It's like they don't give a shit about their creators, and it's really annoying. It's the same with I don't know if you guys know about the DMCAs. I go on about this so much because it's so important, and there's so many people that I've seen even this week that still don't know about it with the music. If you're playing music on your stream and you haven't got the license for it, they will not only will you lose your channel, they could sue you for thousands. Yeah, you need to be really careful about that.
Exactly. It's not even that. Like, there's that, and there's some people like. They stream licensed apps as well, like the Wiki network and so. And you think you do not realize like how bad that is. Like that's copyright right there. Just because you sit in front of it, going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," and all that nonsense. Like you're not going to get into trouble just because you're making it out. It's your content. It's still.
They try to claim it as fair use, and it just isn't. Like it's crazy. They need to back their streamers more when it comes to music rights, because they introduced song requests as a chat command and they had it for years, and then the minute the music company said to them, oh, we're going to close your company down, rather than adjusting settings like YouTube did, YouTube has like a claiming system, doesn't it? So if you get a copyright strike, you can sort it out or edit it out. Whereas Twitch, you know what Twitch does? They just delete your content. And do you know what happens if you do it more than 2 times? They just delete your channel and you don't get a say so. And do you know what happens if you try to claim against that and, like, you know, email the person and find out what the issue is? You can't. There's not an option for it. So you literally just go, oh, okay, well, that's 4 years of my work gone. Do you know what I mean? Say you've got, like you were saying earlier, 2 years worth. That channel's like 2 years old, which mine nearly is. And you say you're even like a partner, so you're like 10 years. Some channels like 10 years old being a partner, and then you get claimed 3 times in the same stream for a 50-second clip of a in-game song that's you have no control over. And say you're playing, like someone the other day was playing Black Ops Zombies, and you know the Easter egg plays one of the
115, I think.
Whatever. And they got the channel. So someone else did that, and they got the channel taken down because of that, and they got claimed 3 times. And it's like, what? Like, that is so ridiculous that they're allowed to do that.
And that's that's down to the Twitch's regulations and their sort of filters as well. It's not even to do with the channel, the hosts of the channel. It's not even their fault.
It's like new streamers shouldn't have to be worrying about that sort of stuff, as well as everything else that is already difficult. People just think that when you start a channel, you just press record on a game or whatever you're doing. Because I know everyone doesn't just do game and there's other stuff on there. But for the sake of what we're doing, because we game on there, people just think you turn a game on, you record yourself, that's it, it's easy as fuck. There's so much more that goes into it that people don't understand.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy.
Like when I have people like come in, like guests or new people, and like they enjoy my content and become part of the Discord or part of the community in some form or fashion, I always tell people, like, make sure like the background is quiet or whatever. I still have people to this day, literally, they'll put something on in the background, and I've literally told the procedure, even like people that have been on for years, and then there'll something come on in the background and go, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And they're just like, oh, sorry, or something come up, and it's just like, you would think that some people would have the capacity of like thinking the situation of making sure that doesn't happen, but and it's just like, and then some people even laugh about it. And it's just like, well, you won't be laughing when my channel gets in trouble, and I will hunt you down and gut you like fish. I mean, like, yeah, please, like, it's humorous to you that like I'm the one because of your stupidity. But like, yeah, it's fine. But like, and that's why sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical with like even like sound effects. Like, I would love to use just like sound effects sometimes, but I feel like if you do certain like meme sound effects or stuff like that, I even get paranoid with that shit, dude. Like, honestly,
I have a loophole for you there. Make your own ones. You record your own voice doing what you want. Like, you know, you actually have catchphrases and stuff. Mm-hmm. Just record yourself doing sound alerts, and then when people play it, it's just your voice doing whatever your thing is. Because then they can't do anything about it because it's your voice. So that's a way around that one. But
there you go. Loophole simply loophole.
I would defer my own stuff anyway. It's like one time.
Well, it's more personal, isn't it? So,
yeah, exactly. It's like when sometimes Harv, who is a fellow friend of mine, uses certain sound effects to tell you how he's feeling, and he puts that depressed one on. It's just so when they tell you people you're fine, but you're not really fine, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like. Mm-hmm. If I get in trouble because you're trying to make it funny, Sonic, we'll be having words. But like, it's great to have those kind of things, but you do feel more restricted. And me and another friend of mine, Justin, he says he doesn't want to use Twitch. He does not like Twitch, and he wants to stick with YouTube. And I can understand why people do that, but unfortunately, the reality is YouTube does not help itself when it comes. They're great for making video content, but when it comes to streaming content, they just can't beat Twitch. Like,
they are getting there though, which is the problem Twitch is going to have very soon, because this happened with Snapchat. Their content was that, and then the minute Facebook and everybody else got the same ability to do what Snapchat was doing, and Snapchat, that's all that they did, that died off pretty much. And because currently all that Twitch does is streaming, and they don't do anything else. They don't have shorts, they don't have clips, they don't have any sort of algorithm to fucking save their life. They have no form of short content to digest.
And they seem to have no interest in expanding on.
Oh yeah, they've got nothing. They aren't the number one streaming platform. Yes, for now. The minute YouTube updates its systems enough to be able to stream properly and gives you the ability to, gift subs and all the rest of it, and just all they've got to do is improve their interface with it. As soon as they can improve their interface, Twitch is going to be screwed because YouTube has everything else.
Look at Facebook; they've been doing it. But if you've seen Facebook, pretty much is Twitch now.
Yeah,
with the way they stream.
it's easier to become more well known and well received, and all the rest of it on Facebook Gaming than it is on Twitch, and that's saying something. It's Facebook,
exactly.
But it's crazy. I know people that started on Twitch 2 years ago. They started on Facebook Gaming a month ago, and they're already like whatever the version is of partner for Facebook, and they've got like a stars and stuff, and they're doing well basically. They've done it in such a short period of time just because of the algorithm that Facebook has. Whereas the minute someone likes your thing, it recommends it to everybody. Whereas Twitch is just like, oh, well, maybe we'll show it if you get a hype train.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got about 100 people talking in your chat, maybe we'll put it recommended. Well,
I'm saying this now. The minute I can get a PC set up, like a proper one that I want to do all the editing, everything I want, I'm going straight to YouTube.
I'm down.
Yeah, I'm gone. Like,
yeah,
it's not worth it, Mike. It really isn't. Like,
I have considered going back to it because I used to stream on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
But like I felt bad. I felt kind of semi-bad, like when I didn't completely abandon because I was thinking I'll do both. You can't do that. It's either one or the other. Yeah. It's either one or the other. So I felt extremely bad about like going to Twitch for streaming purposes, but I'm making videos on YouTube. But the algorithm has gone against me, and just like, you know what, like since you don't stream on there and you only put videos now and they don't do as well as your streams were, we're just gonna punish you by just taking these people off because reasons. And it's like I lost, and it was quite funny because one of my videos did actually quite well, and I still lost 10 subscribers in the space of 5 minutes. And you cannot tell me 10 individuals. This was like 3 months ago. You cannot tell me that 10 individuals all of a sudden in the space of 300 seconds just decided to leave for like literally no reason. So it was kind of like, yeah, you're talking shit, YouTube. But like I may like at one point do a stream at like every now and again on there, but it's just more to the fact of like there are so many little white small prints. Like, for example, you cannot stream when you go on Twitch. You cannot stream on another thing or do another thing for 24 hours.
It's only if it's the same type of content as well, by the way. So you can do it different, but it has to be slightly. Like, for instance, you could do a just chatting stream on YouTube at the same time as doing a gaming stream on Twitch, but you can't do both at the same. But it's knowing your platform, isn't it? So, for instance, like Instagram is brilliant for pictures, whereas YouTube is brilliant for short form videos in 10 minutes, whereas Twitch is brilliant for long period of streaming. It's knowing what platform you're going to get away with what particular content you're trying to promote and how to promote it properly. Like,
and it's knowing how to circulate it as well. So if you you're going to use, say, like Twitch to monetize YouTube, and then use YouTube to monetize yourself. They're really good, the perfect circle. So
it's very weird because people use Twitch now for content to use their Twitch content for YouTube to make YouTube videos, but then also use their YouTube videos to get an audience for their Twitch. Yeah. So it's kind of an intertwining circle.
Yeah. It's almost like a symbolic relationship in a way. Yeah. It's really weird, but it's true.
But the minute everyone takes Twitch's thing away from them that they've got, which is just their streaming, because everyone isn't doing as well. The minute that gets taken away, YouTube's already got all of the other stuff integrated into it, and then you chuck streaming into that, which they're already doing. Not as good, I agree, But as soon as they fix that, that's why Harris Heller moved over to YouTube streaming, because he's already seen that it's just gonna be the future, because it's the more well-known brand as well. YouTube's been around for fucking decades.
Yeah,
So
and it's crazily discoverable as well.
you say to someone you're a YouTuber, they're like, oh, okay. You say to someone you're a Twitch streamer, they're like, you're a what? Like, most people don't understand what Twitch is. They have to look it up.
It's only recently that everyone's kind of like understanding what Twitch is.
Yeah, it's very weird.
One of my favorite things about having like YouTube, from my experience, is when you go, like, for example, I've been up against people, like on Dead by Daylight, for example. They've made like different episodes of videos and stuff, and like they've become lifelong like supporters, or like people that like my channels on like both Twitch and YouTube. And it's so nice because it's just like, I love the fact that they even comment on there, and I love YouTube comments sometimes when someone actually puts like a good comment. Like I really like. Don't get me wrong, I love all the comments, what I get, but I really like the ones that actually literally more than a sentence or a paragraph, and then you get the ones that like, nice. I was like,
I want to care to elaborate.
Yeah, it's just like give
no.
And I was like, even in some videos, I've gone like, let me know you guys do what you think. I'd like feedback and stuff, and then they get things like that, and you're just like, yeah, that's not really feedback. That's just like, that's like a pat on the back or a thumbs up, or like, you did well, buddy. You did that poopy in the party really well. Woo! Like, it's just like, thank you. I appreciate it, but just for future reference, if you ever want to comment on a YouTube video, make
like this one.
Like this one. Yeah. Otherwise, one, Adam will cry, and two, it gives us actual. We take them into consideration, and we take them seriously, and then like even one individual can change the mindset of someone, and it's nice. So yes, comment on the videos, especially if you like them that much.
In short, what he's trying to say is he'd like some constructive criticism.
Well, not even constructive criticism. Like positive. Like if you want to be positive, say something positive. But if you want to have constructive criticism, do constructive criticism. Don't be a dick. Like if you just like no one's like no one's
anyway.
Just get a flood load of like, oh, what's that bald bastard talking about? He sucks. You need a new replacement. Like
anyway. Is there anything else you would like to discuss, Nathan? Well, we're coming into the end of this last 20 minutes, half an hour.
Oh, we've got according to this, we've got half an hour. So, yeah. Like to be fair, like as we all know each other similarly well, we can just like literally just talk about our experiences together as like friends and stuff, and like obviously we've gotten, it's almost been rekindled a bit, because there was a point where we were just busy with our lives, weren't we, all three of us?
I became a dad, so and Nathan became a dad, Mike became a dad again. We're basically just a bunch of dads losing our hair.
I might have lost any hair
as well, apparently. So
we're fat and we've got high volume of semen. So,
I'm sorry. Don't know what's going on in your flat, but fuck.
We can produce.
Let's move on from that part of the conversation.
Right in the comment section, if you like.
Please don't. Let's not. Shit, man.
I will say, like, we've had much more randomer conversations, like when we've like hanged out in different times. Like me and Nathan have waffled about complete bollocks.
Oh yeah, a lot of philosophical bullshit that goes on in that conversation. It's weird. It's like because it's a podcast. It's weird that to like sit and try and like entertain a load of viewers. So like sometimes you think, oh, do I say this? Do I say that? Should I? Would this be too offensive? So it's one of them at the moment. Well, it's a new territory for me.
I do this with Mike. You think I'd worry about saying an offensive statement?
Just worry about what he's going to say.
I'm literally the loose cannon of the two. He's like
I'm just there hovering over the edit button, like, no, not again.
Just like every 5 seconds, deletes. Delete that.
It's just going to be a bleep for half an hour because he just talked about something inappropriate again.
It's just going to be me and Simply in the podcast, and then
So Mike had to go.
But was replaced with this white noise. Like,
he had some egg to go put in his milk before bedtime. He had to go. So
mate, I can't even stress enough how I can't. The fact that you walk. So okay, I know that we've just talked about it like quite a while back, but so do you put the milk like cold milk?
Yes.
What was the second question? You asked the second one.
Twist it and then warm up the milk. Is that how it goes?
Oh my god! I don't know if this is a thing.
I'm just intrigued now at this point. It's been manifesting in the back of my head.
I feel like it would be horrible to swallow, and that sounds really inappropriate. But
and I already had a bad gag reflex thing today, so that
it did.
So it's just like. Although saying that though, I've seen some nasty ass creations. So like someone was talking about crumpets in one of our streams, and someone likes for example, who likes Marmite here?
I can't stand it.
Love it.
See, I'm a hater. It tastes bitter and wrong.
Oh, you got to ease yourself into it. You got to have a little nibble on the side. And then,
Do you like Bovril, Nathan?
I haven't really tried Bovril. Isn't it
I don't know. Same sort of stuff, essentially. Yeah, I remember when I was 17. Story time, simply. I remember when I was 17, working in the co-op, when I smashed some on the floor, and it literally was like tar in the road when it's wet, trying to get that off the floor. It rubber banded back onto the fucking pavement. I was like, "What is this?" And it just stank. Oh.
Yeah, when it hits your nostrils, your brain explodes. Yeah,
and the Bovril. Oh
yeah.
It does kind of look like the stuff that you would make cement with, though. It just looks gnarly. Just like
I feel like I need a priest for it half the time. It just moves on its own. And...
Forgive me, Father, from what I'm about to consume. And it's like,
But yeah, I'm a no with Marmite. No thanks.
No, I love Marmite. Love it. I have to ease myself into it though. I can't just have like a big dollop of it. I need to like nibble around the edges, like sniff it a little bit, get that taste, get my tongue ready. Get my taste.
Sniff it, lick it, dip it. Yeah, it's the three of them.
Can you imagine if she was like you just come into a room and go, "Hey Nathan, how's it going?" And then you just see him sniffing this fucking Marmite,
smearing it all over my face. Like,
just like,
I've not even had my egg yet.
Would you like to join me? And he's like, eyes wide.
Just got milk around his lip.
Join us.
It's nearly bedtime.
1 York or 2.
Just dangle a tea bag. I've marinated this.
He's just rubbing his herbs into his tea bag.
It's just like rub it against your face. Like,
so what are you doing in that tea bag? I'm marinating.
Yes. I'm becoming one with
He's just holding like the fucking Salt Bay guy, just slapping his tea bag. Fucking
just slapping it like, yes.
But it's not that tea bag you're thinking of.
I've dunked this one twice. Extra flavor.
Double dunk.
This tastes creamy. Double whip, baby.
Like the great part is like when it comes down to like weird foods, when you have like a food that a lot of people have. And like you're the kind of like the weird person that doesn't like it, and they kind of like give you that funny look, like this is part of like daily life food, and you don't like it. Like for mine is baked beans. I hate baked beans.
How can you hate baked beans,
mate? I think the texture's disgusting.
I fucking love beans.
I tried beans when I was really young, and I tell you now, I literally froze in how disgusting it's the texture. It's the texture. It just feels wrong. Kind of like liver. Like the smell of liver is quite nice, but the texture
no, it's not.
Liver,
oh, you're grim.
No, it's horrible.
Grim is disgusting.
The
texture of liver is fucking beyond vile. Like and my mum eats it up like it's
Mate,
like
they do liver and bacon at the care home I work at, and it's disgusting. The smell.
So we can all
my
agree that we don't like
God.
beer. So that's we all have that in common.
Why was it ever a thing? We're not in the World War II now. Why do people still eat organs of animals? Like, can we just stop, please?
It's a
Tripe's still a
delicacy.
thing, isn't it?
Like
That is not a fucking delicacy. It's disgusting. It's
Isn't
an
like oxys,
abomination and a crime is what that is.
Weren't like oxys like a ration food in the war or something?
I don't know. I'm 30, not 75. But
All right,
Where did black pudding become a
pig's blood.
yeah, exactly. When did that become a food?
yeah, I don't get that. Let's just eat some congealed fried blood. Thanks. Yeah, that's nice.
But it tastes just like sausage.
How hard did that
as well.
famine hit?
Can I just eat a fucking Oreo for fuck's sake? Do you know what it tastes nicer?
Yeah, I don't think they had Oreos in World War II. I don't.
Well, they clearly weren't living life, were they?
The black
You
pudding was
twist it,
the
lick it, and
original
dip
Oreo.
it is the fucking best part about my Saturday.
I'll tell you a ration food that I actually enjoy, and I feel like I'm going to get some weird reaction here. Corned beef.
I hear the
Like okay.
bang for it. The backlash is coming.
Yeah, I was literally just waiting for like Adam just to lose his shit. Like,
Not gonna lie, I actually like corned beef. I used to have corned beef mixed with mash as a kid, and it was actually quite banging.
Yeah, corned beef mash.
Corned beef mash is the tits. Like honestly, with cheese, like cheese on top.
How do you feel about sausage meat as well?
Sausage meat is great. I
Yeah,
like it when it's packed in my mouth.
I bet you do, you filth.
Such a swine.
Stuff me good. Anyway, what's this conversation turned into? Oh my god!
But like black pudding though, it does actually like I can't like if you like blindfolded me and gave me black pudding and sausage, I would be like,
sorry.
Why do you have to turn it dirty? I know it was an easy target. I know it was an easy target.
It was the fact just said blindfold me. I've just got an image of someone fucking blindfold and ramming a frankfurter down his throat. How's that taste, Mike? Yeah, you like that? So, mate, you think of the war?
Can you taste the difference? One's bigger than the other. Can you tell?
Anyway.
Bloody hell, I need a cigarette after that. I'm kind of horny. Anyway. For the longest time, I wasn't a fan of bacon.
Sorry. Let's go from that to for the biggest time.
You know when you say to me, "Hold on, this is my turn now. This is my turn." Of like, you know when you go into your stories and you tell me to rewind it back. I'm doing that to you now. This is my time to say to you. My time. Yeah, for some reason, like I never used to like the taste of bacon. Do you guys believe that your taste buds change over time?
Oh yeah, they definitely do. When you get older, yeah.
I swear to God, like my taste buds. I used to hate peas, but now I can tolerate peas. And like with bacon, like one time I was like my order got wrong, and I was like, oh, I'll eat it anyway because I'm really hungry. And then like this magical like experience happened of like, oh my God.
I thought he was going to say explosion in his mouth there. I don't know why.
But we've already had frankfurters, sausages, and
this magical explosion appeared.
We've talked about so many innuendos at this. We just might.
There's been a lot of sausage talk.
It really has. We still haven't found out what happened after he got gagged and fucking blindfolded. I want to know what happened. But
I
was put in this like a fictional scenario, and you think this has gone real. I didn't actually get blindfolded and taste the difference.
That just ruins my dream tonight. Thank you very much.
Well, you can still image me being blindfolded, having sausages thrown at me. You know.
Just before I forget, by the way, while you're talking about bacon, I always cut the fat off bacon. Do you guys like the fat on bacon or not?
Yeah, man, I eat it raw. It's fucking
delicious. Walks into Morrison's, peels off some bacon, just starts chomping on it.
Just slap it on my face, and
I don't even need to cook it.
He just like literally just puts it on his face, just like a mask.
He's got to give it the good old Nathan sniff first, though. Got to sniff it first for.
Slaps his hand against him and just goes,
"Sir, can you please stop marinating your bacon in R3? Thank you."
Just give it a good sniff. Where's
and
the
just quickly
eggs?
turns around. It quickly just turns around towards the shopkeeper while the bacon's on his face, going, "I will do what I please."
It's just there in the aisle 3, rolling in the fucking bacon fridge. Yes, yes.
Just there in his underwear, just covered in like dead pig, just like.
Someone just walks past, looks over, and says, "Is that sicko? Why is he drinking eggy milk?"
Just imagine,
It's all just gonna come back to that.
imagine Mike walking into the store. I've been there for a week. I've got no clothes on. And I'm rocking the corner.
It just smells of bacon and egg.
Just like Smeagol in the corner.
Fucking Smeagol. There's bacon fat everywhere. It's just fucking
Make prices all selection.
I tell you what, I love proper butchers products because like it like you know how like you got like Richmond's, which is like the common shit that you see in like stores, and
Yeah.
like they're nice sausages, but like there are way better sausages and cheaper.
Oh, breakfast sausages are banging, man. Like the massive ones you get from the butchers. Oh, they're so nice.
Oh, man.
And they're so
Nice
long.
sausage lately. Well,
They are
you
so
get
long.
the coriander, like Cumberland.
Oh,
Like
Cumberland.
you fucking Waitrose snob. Fucking coriander sausage.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
I just
stick
like.
to Lidl.
Sometimes I
I'm a
like a posh sausage in me. Okay.
I love a Herbie sausage.
I like how you sound like the snobby kind of person, and I sound like the person that's into the 50 Shades of Grey when I try to explain the difference between black pudding and sausage, and it just comes down to this kind of like.
You've already tried to
dysfunctional-
dress us up in a skirt and like put me in a library setting.
This is true. Yeah.
My mind goes places. All right, I'm sorry. Maybe that's the reason why people keep coming to my channel, because like, what kind of weird shit is this man gonna say next?
They're just waiting. They want to see if you can fit a whole breakfast sausage on your mouth without choking. That's what they come here for.
Maybe I should do that for points. Like,
I mean,
30,000 points. Watch me.
I'm
eat
gonna
that sausage
hold you.
full.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm not gonna lie.
You better have a whole fucking pan full of sausages now. 'cause
You
we're all gonna
better
tune
have
in.
a whole fucking panful.
Just literally imagine you
Work.
guys
It's gonna be 2 hours in. It's just gonna be crying. Swallow it.
Where's it?
you guys have just got your pants down, just like, yeah. Do it
Okay.
for me,
Is this
boy.
with the skirt on or the skirt off? I'm confused. Anyway.
That's optional for that time.
Right.
I
Where is this last half an hour gone? It's gone downhill. We talked about NHS and care work. Now we're talking about Mike choking on sausage.
I like how we did start off deep, and now it's just like we're at a pub and we're just discussing waffle and shit. So, like, great. I will say though, I love the point system on Twitch because it's kind of like a great, but it's a curse at the same time. But I was forced because like a lot of people gathered up their points, and for 40 minutes worth of me wearing my Borderlands mask, playing as Bane, acting as Bane from Batman, literally, I wore that mask for so long. I was actually getting like the fumes of carbon dioxide were getting to me. And like when I took the mask off eventually, I was like a tomato. I was like, ugh, you people trying to kill me. Like, seriously. So
Have
be
you done
wise
the,
on the points.
Have you done the community pot challenge yet? I've done one of those before. They're pretty good.
What's one of those?
If you go into your channel points, you can do a community pot challenge where everyone can use their points every day and chuck it into a big pot of, and you can do a challenge. Mine was to play Outlast 2 when I got to 50,000 channel point redemptions, and everyone can donate on there. It's a really good challenge. You should do that. That's a nice sort of tip.
That's not good. I like the idea that you gave me on, I think it was my last Dark Souls stream. Where
for you to read poems. Yeah.
read
Why
loads of
haven't you
poems.
already done this? This
I
is
don't know.
clearly-
This is something that I've never really thought of. Like, the abandoned poet has no poems. Who is this guy?
This is why he's abandoned.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And,
abandoned my own.
not just read them, like do it seriously as well. Like
Type of like background music. Like,
yeah, I want like
You should have a Shakespearean
I want
like head,
full eye
like,
contact. I want
Yeah.
like serious voice, a poet's
I need
hat.
Yeah.
That nice little mini skirt that Mike was on about earlier. That sounds kind of cool.
Have like a scroll like with the piece of paper and just open up the scroll.
Oh,
and
so I
then
want you
read
to
it from
have.
there.
And yes, and
Feel
go
like a
back to
green
it
screen.
again.
Green screen, go back to a
it again.
medieval setting and like just roll like you said, roll a scroll out, put a feathered hat on.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, man, yeah, definitely. And also, you're gonna have to be shaking a glass of eggy milk while you're talking.
Oh yeah, I just down in one. How many eggy milks do you reckon I'll get for in one stream?
We'll make it a dozen. Like,
Yeah.
me and Simply would make that happen.
Projectile vomit.
That should be a sub challenge for you, just to
copied in the
choke on a
mouth.
load of eggy milk and just like see how many you can get through in one stream.
Yeah.
Just have like a 12-pack of eggs. Can he
Yeah.
swallow all these eggs? Let's
You
go.
weren't informed
could call it
about
the-
that.
you could
Poet
call it-
stream, the Bukaki stream. Yeah, eggy milk for the win.
We could call it the Gaston stream. When he like swallows all those eggs.
Oh,
in the beast, like, and you just end up having a triple chin going, oh guys, I don't think I can do much more. Oh, great.
Brilliant.
But like, I just love the fact that it gives you that. That was probably the one positive I can say about Twitch more than YouTube, I guess, is the point system and like the fact you can create your own challenges and stuff. I might actually do that for like because I'm thinking I want to do a horror game next, so I might indulge in that because there's some.
What was your first stream?
My first ever stream on Twitch.
Your first stream, yeah.
Well, my first ever stream, I think was either Dead by Daylight on YouTube or it was Crash Bandicoot: The Insane Trilogy. It was one of them two because I literally did nothing but Dead by Daylight, and then the odd time I did a certain other game on there as well. But a lot of people knew me as the DVD guy, and like at first it was like for fun. I didn't know jack shit about the game, and then I became this rank 1 sweaty competitive bastard that you see before you now, and like and like it's great because sometimes you get questions about stuff like Simply, for example, has asked me a few questions, and other people have asked me like what's a great build for this, or what's the best perks on like Ghostface or Myers or whatever, and it's really nice and refreshing to know that like people ask you about that stuff. That's why I want to do more like beginner guides for people. Because I know Trapper's like my favorite DVD killer. Like he's simple as fuck, but like there's a method to him because he's a strategy killer, and like a lot of people start off with him because he's probably one of the most basics. But there is more to him than meets the eye, like with all killers. And I am starting to think I would probably do more Trapper based videos and stuff, or just talk about perks, because there's some people that have run perks even in Kill Your Friends, and I look at them when I'm just like spectating or something, and I'm like, why have you put that on? Like my competitive brain comes on. It's like, I don't care if you rank 20, you need to know what this is. It's like you need to know the power. But I think everyone has a game like that. When it comes to Dark Souls or Ark, that's Simply's department.
And Fallout. I
and
Fallout as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Dark Souls, I probably know far too much about. I walked you the other day through item by item. I sat nav you where stuff is. It's mad.
Simply is my sat nav on that game at the moment while I'm streaming. It's a great experience that like I don't even have to look at a guide now. There's just
to the
this
point
voice
where I was so
head.
frustrated with because Twitch has that delay, doesn't it, with streaming and when you're chatting.
Yeah.
So I had to ring him because I was just like, he needs to know where this fucking Hydra is. It's gonna murder him.
Yeah, that's great. It's so professional.
It is mental when I did Dark Souls 3, which I may come back to that at some point. It's not the fact I got too frustrated that I couldn't be asked. It was the fact is that with Bloodborne, I felt that more manageable because it's less customizing with armor and stuff. It's usually you pick your favorite weapon out of the lot and you put on a certain thing. It was very more simplistic.
That's interesting because people normally say the other way around. They say Bloodborne's harder normally because of that fact.
Bloodborne is difficult. In terms of like it's more aggressive than Dark Souls from my experience. But and especially it took two streams for me to kill Father Dildo. And like that's why I call him, because he literally he was the only boss I would truly say that I had the most difficulty with. And then after that, some of the other bosses were, be careful about this, and I killed them in one attempt. And I'm just like, yes, get it, oh shit, daddy, ah! Like this adrenaline rush when you kill a boss in Dark Souls.
That's what people hooks people. It's that rush when you finally do something you've been trying to do for ages. That's what gets you.
And like when I was gonna like get the best ending straight away until like the permaban, and like that discouraged me, because I was literally at the end. I could have fought the final boss, but instead I was trying to do the dungeons, and them dungeons, man, oh, I think I lost more hair than I actually did, like during Bloodborne. Not just on my head, everywhere on my body. I looked like just like a child again. It was just weird, like a new.
Every time he died, a bit of hair fell off. Floated down.
I look like the results of the Benjamin Button.
09. Mark a memorial for it.
It is a hard game, but I feel like when it comes to hard games, it's so much more rewarding.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like you need another game that is piss easy, that makes you just get your confidence back up, and then you go back to like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, and then you realise you're just an insignificant ant. So it's great.
I would love both of you to try Sekiro, however you want to pronounce it.
I would love to try that.
It's the most rage-inducing game I've ever played, but it's the most, when you got that rush after finally doing something. I've never experienced a rush off a game that I have, like when you finally kill a boss you've been trying to kill for a week. It took me a week to kill a boss.
My game choices since I've started Twitch have got a lot better, I feel. I remember the first game I was playing was called Primal, and my idea of actually doing Twitch was to be like do game reviews. I thought that's what it was, just game reviews. It's 2 3-hour long game reviews, and I started reviewing this game, and I remember Mr. O raiding me, and I was just stuck in the middle of this game, like, where the fuck do I go? And he come in like, yo, raid, like, yeah. I don't know what the fuck's going on though. Can you help?
but look at the graphics.
Look at the pretty graphics.
That's what I am. And then like that now, like, I'm looking at games like Dark Souls and stuff, and I think like my game choices have got a lot better. I think I need a bit of a little bit of applause for that, because I always got to head in a completely different direction. I was going to head in a completely different direction. You would have saw like some horrible stuff like Barbie's Puppy Rescue. That was coming.
That would have been an interesting game review.
That's definitely not coming.
I can just imagine like Nathan, like, so you play as Barbie and you help puppies.
It's just proper monotone voice. Yeah. So you play as Barbie.
Haven't you noticed that there's a lot of puppies on this street?
Look at the puppies.
Let's count them together.
1, 2.
Someone call the RSPCA.
What? Anyway, we're coming up to the time here, aren't we? Shortly.
Yes. So, one thing I will say before we end, like as I said, Nathan streams Abandoned Poet on Twitch. One thing I want to see in his career on Twitch is to watch this man break. And in terms of like I said, he's got a very calm demeanor. He barely like gets like agitated like me and Simply in comparison. And like one time I watched him, and this is the great part, he'll play games that will stress him or put him in a position of like, he's about to burst. And one of the games he was playing was veteran mode on Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, the first one. Oh, is it? Oh, the second one.
Yeah, the second or first one. Yeah,
it was the first one. The Ferris wheel. You the sniper.
Yes.
You're waiting for an extraction, And I think I was on there for so long, and you may continue.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
already
mesmerized. I was literally on like view locked on the screen because I wanted to see this man literally crack. Literally,
Oh, don't worry. He's playing Dark Souls. It's going to happen.
It will happen eventually. I almost cried at the forest.
Mate, you wait till you do the DLC. You're going to break in half with the rage. Like, it's...
There's a point with that game, or with the veteran mode, where I ended up. I got on the helicopter, but I was celebrating. There's a video of this on Instagram. I was celebrating. I span round on my chair, and then when I faced the screen again, it said you died. I was like, "What?"
Brilliant.
This massive middle finger towards him. I think I was there at the time, and I literally just I didn't respond for ages because I was laughing that hard. I was literally in bits, just like I was like, dude, if I was in your situation, I would have turned the game off. But your perseverance holds no bounds. It was great. It was just a great time. So yeah, guys, if whoever was watching, if you guys want to watch some lovely, calm, almost MSMR like chill times, watch your boy Abandoned Poet. He's a fantastic content creator and a great co-opper, as we are doing the Borderlands series every Thursday, either at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. depending when he gets back. But yes, if you're into Borderlands, do check us out on that. Yes, when you're not unconscious.
Yeah.
Check out his Dark Soul streams as well.
Dark Souls every Tuesday.
He's a brand new playthrough, completely blind, sort of. But the occasional nudge. But make sure you check him out on that as well.
Yeah.
We will post all of his social links as well in the description, as I usually do. So make sure you go drop him a follow on all of those. That'd be great. Thank you for listening to our podcast with Mr. Abandoned Poet. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you for having
me. Yes, you have been a fantastic pick, and
I've tried my best. It's a very new territory for me, so I was quite nervous to start off, but I feel quite good now that I've done it. Yeah. So, thank you for I need to fall out my chair. Then, thank you for having me on board for this one episode.
That's all right.
Pleasure. And if anyone else that is watching this wants to become a guest, feel free to ask us either down in the comment section, or you can DM us on our social media stuff as well. We are planning to try and get a guest every week. So feel free to, if you feel like you're up for the task of doing a podcast, just let me and Simply know, and we will try and make it happen. So So yes, thank you all much for watching. This is the part where you do the Simply.
Thank you. And goodbye.
Yeah,
I've been Simply.
And I've been Opinionated. And
I've been Poet.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.